Miley my bean, Miley my bean, Miley my bean.
Greetings. Good morning. I didn't want to start talking until she passed. Okay. Greetings. Good morning. It's your girl Chris Ball here. I'm just coming through with this live. I was gonna post in my stories just now, but I literally why are you looking at me? She stopped and like looking at me like, who are you talking to?
I'm going just to see that they are arrested.
Okay.
Coming back.
She was looking at me like, who are you talking to? This is hilarious. But anyways, I'm just coming through this morning, wanted to detail my day 6. And then I had like this thought that I wanted to share. And I tried to share it in my stories. And of course, I'm out of storage. So I'm going to share it here. So let's start day 6. It's great. I've been cheating my ass off. It's been the holidays, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think when I leave today and go back home, I think I am going to actually water fast for the next 2 days. So by New Year's Day, you know, because it's 2 days. We got the 20, whatever tomorrow, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will fast. And then I will get my nice bowl of ramen on Monday just to bring the new year in on that tip, because I've definitely been out here cheating, but it's okay. Now let's get to this thought, like, right? So y'all know that, like, if you watch any coach, any transformation, this, any that, whatever, it's always talked about, like, mindset shifting, like changing the way that you think, right? And so, like, whenever people talk about like mindset shifting and they talk about changing the way you think, it's like, yeah, thank you. That's when you have to understand that it comes from within first. And so it's like, hold on, I'm coming. So it's like, you know, and I'm not saying anything that people haven't heard and that we're not spewing a million times. People aren't necessarily going to the nitty gritty on how to do this and all of that. That's also something that I'm going to talk about at some point. But right now, I'm just kind of giving an overview so that I can say what I want to say. So it said that, okay, change the way you think, you know, change your thought process, then you can create your reality. You can change your physical world. Like, you can change your world. You can change what's happening for you. Okay. You can change what is happening, like, for you in this physical realm. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you're thinking of it from a mental standpoint or you're thinking of it from a spiritual standpoint, and it's really kind of, they coincide because you can't have one without the other. Whether, it doesn't matter which way you're looking at it, when you change yourself within, when you make those necessary decisions and changes within yourself, they reflect outside of you. And this is speaking personally, okay? This is speaking individually, each of us, you know what I'm saying? Change your thoughts, change your life, okay? So there's that. Now, there's this concept. Okay. There's this concept, and I don't even want to call it a concept because it's just like, wow, like, it's like, duh. It's like, oh my gosh, this makes sense. Everybody needs to know this. Like, why have we not been taught this? Why do we not know this? What is it? Like, why has this been hidden from us? And to me, I get it. I get why it's been hidden, because if everybody knew this, then, you know, the world would be drastically different. Like, people would operate completely differently. But it's like, I don't like to talk about the agendas and all that, but that's what it is. It's programming. You know what I'm saying? The programming that has, and it's crazy. This one is crazy. And I'm not the only person that understands it. And I'm slowly going to explain it because I'm not ready to explain it fully yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get this right. And if I am talking and it comes off, I want to do it live on YouTube. I don't want to do it live on here. But anyways, so with that being said, I was just, the concept that I'm speaking of, it's like, more people should understand this. More people should know this. If more people knew this, then, or not even knew this, because if everybody just understood this perception of it and grasped this understanding, and you can see the instant truth in it, like, if people grasp that, okay, yeah, they're going to change mentally. They're going to change their immediate reality. But with that being said, I'm watching this movie and it's got me on a roll. And I'm like, if this happens and like people wake up to the extent that I'm talking about in this moment, like not just some spiritual awakening, I mean some real awakening to, like, I guess you could call it a spiritual awakening, but it's the truth. Yes?
I'm going to my mom.
Okay, I'll see you later. But like, if that happens, then that means our physical reality has to change too. So I'm watching this movie, like, They Are Left Behind, like, Leave the World Behind. And I think this is the one, somebody told me to watch it, and I didn't watch it, but this morning I saw it and I was like, let me watch it. And I'm like, you know, they always talk about Armageddon, the end of days. And I think, you know, another reason, like, the concept that I'm speaking of is definitely spiritual, is definitely biblical, but it's like the way they have explained Armageddon in the Bible, or I don't even want to say in the Bible because it's perception. The way that it is explained that, you know, like aliens were just going to be plopped out of the earth and pulled up, like that's not saying that, you know, who knows? I don't know how that works, but in actuality, it's just an example of the type of situation that could happen, like something just that drastic. You know what I'm saying? Like something just that, like crazy. And as I watch this movie, I'm like, if we truly shift mentally, if we truly shift physically, and prepare to invite in this new world, invite in, you know, the true world, invite in the world of God, invite in, you know, all that actually is supposed to be, like everything's gonna have to die. Not only our faulty thought processes, our faulty way of understanding things, but also like the things around us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. This might sound a little bit conspiracy theory to some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking. I'm just thinking. I'm just like gathering this information in my head, and it's crazy to me. Like, it is just crazy to me. Like, all of it is crazy to me. Like, even for me now, when I hear things, like there used to be a point in my journey when I went from being religious to being spiritual. There was a point where I always second guessed myself. I always was wondering, you know, am I doing this right? Because the programming of religion is so freaking like, it's so freaking heavy. It's embedded in you. Like literally it is embedded in you, and you can't, it's hard to like kind of switch and go in another direction. Right. But as I stand now, this concept that I've understood, and I've been thinking, like it's been coming up within my mind, body, and spirit for years, but I never like really understood, and it never really fully made sense until recently. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, and I'm a person that I would say I don't read the Bible, and I stopped reading the Bible because I just felt like that was a religion, that was Christian, that was, you know, that was like, it's a religion, it's Christian. So it's like, I'm not going to do that. But as I sit now, I can read the Bible because I understand how to read it. We're not supposed to read it like it said. I'm not going to get into this because I'm not ready to get into this. I keep saying that, and I don't know when I'm going to be ready to get into it. I just want to make sure that when I do start talking about it, I'm ready. I mean, there's people out here talking about it as well. But I don't know. I don't know if any of this made any sense to you. If it did, great. If it didn't, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everything's not what it seems. That's all I can say. Like, everything is not what it seems. Okay.
Let me see whether I see my mouth.
Okay, you let me know. Everything is just not what it seems. That is it. Point blank, period. Like, I'm not gonna say anything else. But anyways, I had to get that out, y'all. I had to get that out. I'm sitting here watching this movie like, oh my God, what is this? This is crazy. Could be reality. Could be at some point. Maybe not to this extent. Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? Like, when shifts happen, they have to happen in totality. Like, if we shift as a human being, if we shift as a race, mentally, physically, and spiritually, it's gonna happen physically too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna have something. Something is gonna, you know, like COVID was a shift. Okay, like that was a shift. Things like that, like pandemics, epidemics, when the world falls apart, you know what I'm saying? Those are shifts. Those are shifts happening within the world. Just as if with us, with person, when we are shifting, when we are changing, when we are growing, we typically go through these massive, like, you know, falls, these massive things that are like, oh my gosh, why am I dealing with this? But it's because we are shifting. And if we have that same concept that, like, we don't only shift within ourselves, like everything shifts, you know what I'm saying? Because we are one. We are literally like the universe. All this stuff is like one thing, you know what I'm saying? And we are a part of it. We literally created all of this to a certain extent. Well, we created all of this to a certain extent. So it's like physically created it to a certain extent. So it's like, once we change, all this shit is going to change too. And I don't know in what capacity is going to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this going to happen? Like, I don't know. That we don't know. That is something that we're waiting to see. And like, everybody's always worried about, the new COVID pandemic is coming around, or we're going to shut down this. Okay, yeah, those are great. But this type of shift that I feel is coming, this type of shift that and not only, I didn't think about it physically. Like, I've only thought about it spiritually and mentally, and I've only thought about it for myself and for like individual people in humanity. I haven't thought about it like as a global, like, whole, like, situation. And I don't know, I'm not into conspiracy theories, and I don't know the thought process is behind what, who knows why this information has been kept for us, who knows why they don't, who knows, you know what I'm saying? Of course, part of us, we know it's all about control. It's literally about keeping people in a certain line, because if people get too expanded and they understand too much, there's gonna, like, how is it gonna be regulated? Like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that thought that, there's middle class, whatever, everybody is on their levels. Like, if everybody knew the truth, they would understand that there is really no levels. You are you know what I'm saying? It is within you know what I'm saying? There is nothing externally that is going to do anything for you. It is all within you know what I'm saying? And they have this Bible that I got to figure out where to get. I saw this girl talking about it. It's called the I'm not going to even try to, like, Apocalypta text or something like that. It's the Bible, but it's it's written, supposedly, I gotta read it, but it's written differently. And one thing I will say now, as I read the Bible, it's a little bit difficult to read, because I have to read it and then I have to process it in my head and, like, understand it. It's crazy, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting into that. But I'll talk to y'all later.